I'm Stella. I'm here with Mark, and we are preparing to share some messages of encouragement with the collective. Hope everyone has been well. I know these past few months have been some quite uncertain times that may have been unsettling for one reason or another for most people, but rest assured the universe indeed has your back, and you are being divinely guided and encouraged to keep working on yourself, to keep growing, and to keep the light alive inside of you by sharing your gifts, your talents, and abilities with those around you, but most importantly, to practice really good self-care. Before we get started, the message that really came through to me this evening was Chi and Prana. So energy and the breath, life force. And so this message that will come forth, messages plural, I believe will be of a high vibrational nature to uplift, encourage, and inspire you to remain in that positive upper echelon of peace, serenity, joy, and harmony. And so the very first deck that we are working with tonight is the Lightworker Oracle by Alana Fairchild. And the card that came out is number 17, Family of Light. So Mark's going to go ahead and read for us, and I will go ahead and make sure that we get set up live so that we can make sure this stream gets out to as many people as possible.
While some souls have incarnated to learn about us and them, others have the purpose of teaching unconditional, all-embracing love. You are one of these. You have taken life to love the many, not just the few. For this life purpose to be anchored, issues in your biological family may keep you from bonding with them in the typical way. Perhaps you were the odd one out in your family, the one whom no one really understood. Perhaps you felt loved but couldn't live the way your family seemed comfortable to live. Maybe you lost family members through divorce, disease, depression, and death, or through addiction or emotional immaturity that left you disconnected from key family members. If your father figure was absent, whilst you must do the emotional healing work to process the pain, understand the purpose of that absence. For your own spiritual connection to remain intact, pure and powerful. If your mother figure was absent, whilst you are advised to do the emotional work to process the pain, understand the purpose of that absence, for you to look beyond your immediate family to find your place and find yourself belonging to and being devoted to the entire human race. I like that passage because I feel like a lot of times when we were all young and growing up, many of us had experienced a trauma. Something that happened to us, perhaps like, I know in my case, one of my parents was an alcoholic. And, you know, with that, there came a lot of different feelings that did not allow me to grow. I was so filled with anger, with guilt, those feelings of what more could I have done to keep my loved one out of the bottle. It just didn't allow new things to manifest in me and allow me to grow as a person. I got stuck in a rut of self-pity, doubt, anxiety, and when you're filled with those negative things, it is very hard to get out of that rut that you could be in. So for those of you who have experienced a loss as a child or a traumatic experience, I hope that you can find something, if you are not already out of that rut, to get you out of that rut. Whether it's meditation, whether it's yoga. Later on in life, I had found running was therapeutic for me. Whatever it is, and hopefully it's something healthy and positive to get you out of that negative mindset so that new positive things experiences, and feelings can manifest within you.
That's beautiful. And so with that said, I'm going to go ahead and play some of these singing bowl tones for the vibrations. We're just going to go ahead and bring in some clarity, take in some nice deep breaths. We want to move the prana, the air in our lungs, and just cleanse yourself. We want to be ready to receive the messages that are coming forth. And just let those tones resonate through your entire body, from the top of your head all the way down to the soles of your feet. And just continue to breathe in and out. Any stress, anxiety, negativity, worry, doubt, just go ahead and release that from your body, from your mind, from your muscles. If you need to just kind of stretch your muscles, roll your shoulders, wiggle your fingers and toes just to get it all out, because we're here to help serve you and assist you in healing. This is what tonight is about, is healing and encouragement and light and love, balance, harmony, peace. We know that at this time in the world, we can be the change that we wish to see. So I encourage you to embrace yourself, to trust your intuition, to allow the flow of universal wisdom and knowledge to flow through you without any hindrances or any blockages. Allow your chakras to come fully online tonight. All the areas where you may have been out of balance, out of alignment, allow the universe and the divine and the angels, allow the light workers that are here to administer love and encouragement to you so that you can get into alignment and remain in alignment. Om Shanti Om. Om. We encourage you to continue to practice good breathing. Be aware of your breathing. Be aware of your heart rate, your pulse. Listen to your body and do all that you can to get into a relaxed state so that you can just kind of soak in these vibrations of peace and hope. You know, we're here to support you. We're here to help you. You know, that saying, each one teach one. Well, together we are collectively helping each other tonight to raise our vibration, to bring more harmonic resonance to the places and people around us. And so I thank you for being here to participate in this time of healing, this opportunity for release and rejuvenation. If you've been feeling fatigued and exhausted, we just encourage you to allow the good chi and good prana to flow in. Open up the palms of your hands, faced upright as you're breathing in. Those are also connected to your heart chakra. So you are in an active position of, I'm ready to receive from the universe the messages and the wisdom and the knowledge that is meant for you this evening. All right. Very cool. Hi, Leo Sun. Hi, Radhika. Hi, Kate. So happy to see all of you. Mark says hello as well. I just happened to creep up over the top of the screen and saw you there. So happy to be with all of you again. Hope that the messages tonight are going to just lift your spirits and encourage you and provide you with some powerful encouragement. And so, Mark, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and just, see which of these decks are resonating for the next cards. And just prior, I did a pre-shuffle, and this was the deck. This was the Sacred Geometry Activations Oracle. And the very first card was change. Change. It says the frequency of change supports our ability to gracefully dance with the forever changing nature of reality, both inward and outward, so that we can appreciate the sweet release of the old and the birth of the new. So this is indeed about releasing the old and giving birth to the new. So that makes sense that Spirit would guide us to talk about chi and prana. You need energy to give birth, and you need breath to give birth. You have to have that combination of breathing and the energy and endurance to go through that process. So for those of us who are on this journey, we're learning experientially that giving birth to our greatest version of ourselves is not an easy process, but it is indeed the most fulfilling one I think that we will ever experience.
I know that for some of us, change is a very scary thing. I've always looked at change like this. Imagine me and I put a $20 bill in your hand and you closed your hand. $20 is a lot of money, and you're always going to have that $20 because nobody's going to pry it out of your hand.
Right.
But also, you're not going to have any opportunities for any more money to come in because your hand is so tightly clenched around that $20 bill. If I could ask you to open your hand, you very may well lose $20. It could fall out of your hand. Somebody could take it. The wind could blow it away. But you know what? Through that open hand, I have an opportunity to put $1,000 into your hand. I could put $10,000 into your hand, $500. You have the opportunity for so much more when you are open to change rather than be resistant. Change is, and I know you all have heard this, is definitely the spice of life. It makes things interesting. It's exciting. If you can make the decision to embrace change and not fear it, you may have an opportunity to experience life through an entirely different and more wonderful lens than you currently are if you have a lot of fear in your heart.
Absolutely. And fear most definitely impacts our chakras, almost like putting a little dam in the water for each of those chakras. And if you are acquainted with water and dams or something that would, a levee that would prevent the water from flowing, there's a very powerful force that's taking place. That water wants to flow. It wants to get through, and it's going to try to find a way one way or the other. And eventually it may take it 1,000 years to do it, but it will make it through. So I am telling you right now, if you have been in a place of fear in your life and it has prevented you from making the boss moves and the major changes that are needed, then I strongly encourage you to please take this moment in time. Do not wait another minute and address it within yourself. If you find that you're constantly afraid of change, right there in the seat of your power, your solar plexus just near your navel, is where you are experiencing probably some of the most conflicting things. Because we are energetic bodies, that means you're probably also experiencing some type of digestive issues. Some people have ulcers. Some people develop growths and tumors and things that are of dis-ease, where the word disease comes from, right? The root word dis and ease. So in order to combat that, reverse that, heal that, it starts with first acknowledging why is it there to begin with, and then start to feel it in order to heal it. Use the healing modalities available to you. Therapists, acupuncturists, you can talk to a shamanic healer. You can do guided meditations. acupressure, massage, yoga. There are so many options that are out there to help you help yourself. But remember, the body does keep the score. So while you're preparing for this change, because I really believe at the base of this, the yellow, which I always associate with that solar plexus, is at the base of this. There is some powerful changes going on. So if you're shifting, just prepare yourself and listen to your body. Listen to what your body is telling you. And if you need to go to your doctor, go to your doctor. If you need to go to a healer, a practitioner, follow through. But as they say, buckle up, Buttercup, because it's about to get hectic. All right, so we're going to go ahead and work with this deck, which I think is really powerful. It is by Colette Baron Reed. It's the Crystal, excuse me, Crystal Spirits Oracle deck. And, you know, I feel really powerful energy from crystals. Tonight I have this beautiful fluorite crystal that belonged to Mark, and he has graciously shared it to me. I'm very thankful. But I look at the points on it, and I'm thinking, you know, tonight as we're going through these changes, we're going to be as sharp as this point here. If you were feeling dull before, if you were feeling kind of like you weren't as sharp as you should be, mental clarity, you will be feeling it tonight, because these messages were meant to help you become stronger, activated, and moving forward in your purpose. Good evening, Matt. Hey, y'all. King Triton is here. Welcome in. Good to see everybody. Thank you so much for being here. All right, so the first card that came out is the, I'm going to try not to butcher this, guys, Dumortierite. And so if you notice inside, wow, you cannot make this stuff up. You see the face of someone who has been encapsulated inside of a stone. So if this has been you, not able to move, if you notice there is a ring of light and specks of light, as if energy is generating on the inside, and it's just like when an egg is cracking, breaking out of this in order to prompt and step into your activation of change.
What this crystal is means, it brings with it organization, orderliness, clutter clearing, and list making. Not all plans come to fruition, but in the planning we learn so much. Have you worked out your plans, making lists and organizing your thoughts? The message here to you is to take the ideas in your mind and commit them to paper in an orderly fashion, for you are supported right now in structuring plans that will help you achieve the fulfillment and healing you seek. Your mental discipline is enhanced now, so pull out your journal and write your to-do items. Draw arrows and pictures that help you prioritize and acknowledge what is most important to you and what needs to be on the low priority end of your list, or dropped off your list altogether. We want you to know that you will feel stronger and more confident once you start working out your ideas on paper, and right now your power to put it all together in a way that works for you is at its peak. Commit to organizing your ideas today, for the conscious universe wants you to know that you are better at this planning stuff than you may think.
Wow, that is powerful. So, you know, when we set intentions in the universe, expect something to happen, you know, whether it's a unspoken intention or a verbalized one, but we're being called to write things down now. So I'm going to even add in there, if you are someone who likes to create a vision board, if that's your way of expressing yourself, it's time to start putting a plan and a blueprint to arrive at this change. And so, you know what? I just felt that prompting, bottom of the deck. Will you go ahead and read the number 39, Obsidian? That's interesting because this is a protective stone that just came up right here. So let's see what we are to learn from Obsidian as we are preparing and planning for these changes.
The meaning of Obsidian is observing the self, self-reflection, and knowing thyself. When you look in the mirror, who looks back at you? How do you view yourself? Do you look into your own eyes and see someone willing to acknowledge the past and learn from it? Do you see someone willing to step into a new identity, one more suited to the life you want for yourself? All of us are ever changing, a mix of past, present, and hopes for the future. The challenge is to trust that you are becoming will be loved, cherished, and supported, even if you are still just exploring the potential, still unfamiliar with the new territory you have entered. As you ponder what you wish to change, love the one you're with. You. Love yourself in all your complexity, knowing that whatever strengths you need are present, and Obsidian Spirit is here to amplify them through the power of self-awareness. Just as in observing a particle or wave, the observer can change its form, so too in observing yourself can you begin the process of personal transformation. You are going to love the you that you're becoming.
Guys, boy, we cannot make this stuff up. I am just blown away that right out of the gate, we're getting messages that are calling us to dive deeper into ourselves and to recognize that, just like that song, Man in the Mirror, you know, if you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make the change. Make that change. Those words are so powerful. We can be the change we want to see. We don't have to wait for someone else to make those changes. We can course correct in real time. That's right. Thank you, Matt, that they do offer protection. And that's something that we had been learning over the summer, was that all of these different crystals, these different stones, minerals, each have really powerful purposes that help us to balance and maintain equilibrium with our earth self and with our spiritual self. And so I'm always excited when we get to work with different stones and crystals, because I feel like I learn something new every time. This is a brand new deck that I have not worked with yet at all, and so I felt like it was important to pull this out, especially because the Obsidian pointed to looking within yourself, and this is called the Self-Love Oracle. So thank you in advance for the messages of encouragement and light from this deck. Thank you that these cards have something of value to encourage us on our journeys. And in fact, it says find peace and happiness through the chakras. So it's kind of exciting to see that. All right, so the front of the card, and then we have self-devotion, the third eye chakra. So for those of you who are new to chakras, your third eye chakra is like literally between your eyebrows, like bing, right in the center, like that's the bullseye. So, and it's a number 29 card, which is, you know, equals an 11 if you combine those two numbers. And so I'll go ahead and read to you what this card has to say to us. All right. Oh, okay. You know what? Your girl's not wearing her glasses. Sorry, guys. It's actually a 24. See, this is what happens when you hand me the microphone. Hold on. I've almost got it there. See? You guys, look at how much I have grown up. You know, I would have completely had a conniption fit had this happened on a live. But see, we grow through what we go through. All right, so the ritual of self-devotion. Give yourself a chance every day. This card suggests that you've been asking more of yourself. You have wanted to rise above your fears and bad habits to serve others as your heart asks. You can indeed be a gift to everyone you meet. You can give hope, an image of grace, inspiration. Wow. That is just beautiful. I'm so touched by this card. All right, it says you can give inspiration and elevation. To do this requires self-devotional practices that ensure you know how to command your mind so you don't pollute your projection with any negative thoughts or words. When you care deeply enough about yourself to take full responsibility for living your life to the fullest, you're ready to commit to self-enrichment and gratitude for your true self practice. This commitment will create an inner trust and build resilience to disease and disharmony within your 10 bodies. Drops the mic, right? Did you hear that, you guys? You can't make this stuff up. We just talked about how the body keeps the score. So don't pollute yourself with the negativity or the thoughts or the words that are not in alignment with your greatest and highest good. Live your life to the fullest. Commit to a life of self-enrichment and gratitude. So, your attitude determines your altitude. So set the channel to gratitude. Make a commitment to yourself. So there is a practice here that's mentioned as to how to kind of start fine-tuning yourself so that you can get into that vibration. So it says the morning practice of sadhana brings conscious energy and exponential spiritual growth into your whole life. It is a daily prayer that is said by you for you. This is not a religious practice. You do not worship anything outside yourself, rather practice of self-devotion. It's not done to please anyone or gain anything. It's what you intuitively know you must do to serve others, live long, and fulfill your own creative destiny. Okay? It says sadhana is ideally practiced in the ambrosial hours, the 2.5 hours just before sunrise, to give you the best results. So you could pray, meditate, exercise, but do it consistently. Do the one that dissolves fear and positively charges you. Before you begin practice, it's ideal brush your teeth, wash, take a cold shower, and bless yourself. When you become skilled at your own self-hypnosis, you give yourself a chance to be creative, kind, and to radiate grace. Give yourself a chance. It's pretty powerful, right?
Absolutely.
What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know. This was a kind of a difficult card for me.
Do you feel like you give yourself a chance when you get up every day to be the greatest version of yourself? Like, is there something that you do, like you get up and you set your morning, you tune in to first thing to get you in the vibration of starting in alignment with your life purpose and mission?
I don't, and that's probably a lot of my problem.
Okay.
I think I should probably develop a ritual for myself so that I can get myself into the correct mindset. Okay. I think a lot of times when I leave out of the doors of here, my mindset is not correct, and it affects the way that I view things, the way that I perceive things, and that attitude carries me, throughout the day. And I think a lot of times it determines whether I'm going to have a good or bad day or not.
Okay.
So now I see the importance of starting the day on the right foot, having the correct mindset so that I can see good things around me and invite good things into my day and into my life.
That's right. I think that's really wise that you recognize that. I think a lot of us are waking up to that reality and noticing that we don't particularly give ourselves a chance. We're ready to start the day to serve other people, but not necessarily giving ourselves a chance and serving ourselves in a way that's not selfish, it's self-full, because you're putting effort, time, and devotion into yourself. I think that when we do that, it also helps us prevent from overextending other people's energy. I think we've all ran into people, and that's been us at times, where we're depleted, so we kind of latch on and attach to someone else's energy. And before you know it, we are like, like a little vampire just sucking down the energy in the room. And sometimes we don't even know we're doing it. But for those of us who are awakening, becoming more conscious, we know that we don't want to do that. And one of the combatants to that energy vampiring is to focus on some self-devotion so that our tank, our emotional, spiritual bank account is full and we're not overdrawn or on vapors or needing to take from other vessels. So I think this is definitely a good point of power for us to practice, and I hope that that's something that will encourage each of you. All right. What do we have next, Mark? All right. And again, welcome in, everybody. Thank you for being here. If I missed seeing you pop up on the screen, welcome. Thank you for being here. Many blessings. And we have this deck, which I have really grown to become very encouraged by. It is the Quantum Oracle by Sandra Ann Taylor. And Mark drew the card from the Consciousness set. It's a number 5 card, and it is a consciousness of lack.
A man leans dejectedly on a concrete heart, his back turned to the potential golden beauty held there. His melancholy seems overwhelming, and this card may reveal a similar energy for you at this time. There may be some financial limitation for you, possibly even significant money woes. But this card could indicate restriction in other areas as well. You may be experiencing some limitations in love or relationships, and the feelings of loss could be frustrating or sad. This consciousness card reveals even deeper issues than the Great Gratitude card reversed. It demands that you shift out of the lack of consciousness now. Even if you feel something is missing in your life, your fear only restricts you further, making you more miserable and manifesting more limitation. It may be difficult to focus on something positive when you're lonely or have financial troubles, but it's absolutely necessary to do so if you want to change that reality. Take the steps you need to resolve whatever issue may be bothering you, but don't stop there. Make the energetic cause to always acknowledge what you have, even to the smallest detail. Choosing to value yourself and your life will break down the harsh feelings in your heart and bring many amazing experiences to you.
This is really powerful and so very timely. As I look down at the card, once again, I guess Michael Jackson is making his appearance in this reading tonight, it reminds me of a video that he did called They Don't Care About Us. The verse says, all I want to say is that they don't really care about us. And it's a very powerful song. It talks a lot about social injustices that have happened all over the world for many, many years. It's a very punchy, powerful anthem of sorts that you could march to. There are a lot of people right now who are more so than ever conscious of lack, conscious that there was a lack of toilet paper. There was a lack of hand sanitizer. There was a lack of food in the stores for a hot minute in different places all over the United States. People have been very conscious of lack of respect. That's why we have groups out there like BLM very upset, feeling that certain people aren't being respected, and because of that they don't believe their lives matter. And so there's just all this lack and poverty, and these are low, dense, negative vibrations that are being used to suck the energy, vitality, the chi, the prana out of us. And here we are called to help support the earth, Mother Gaia. We're like a conduit between heaven and earth. And so if our vibration and our energy is brought down low, we were the reinforcements that were being sent in, and so we're being suppressed and depressed because of what's going on. If you look at this card, you see a stony heart. You see a picture that looks bleak, but you see there's some gold there. you see that there's some flowers, there's some growth, there's a moon in the forest, and usually that represents some type of illusions or lies. You know, the color red keeps appearing. Red is a power color. And you see these books are under the feet of this masculine. You know, this is very powerful. This is pointing directionally like a compass to the power of the disillusioned masculine energy that is disorganized and toxic. A stony heart. How can the love flow into the stony heart? How can the bleak picture become brighter? A lot of masculine energy, whether you're a female and you're in your masculine energy, or you're a masculine in gender and that's your energy, there's a concern about knowledge and finances. And while you have this red, which is associated with love, you have red pops all over the place. The green is actually the color that this individual is missing. They're looking right at it. Green is the color of abundance, and it's sprinkled with the red all throughout it. Love and abundance go hand in hand, but if you are only focused and conscious of the lack you feel, you're missing the big picture. So the heart chakra, we talked about how the third eye chakra, which is what the last card we just had was, and we've talked about the heart chakra and how the mind and the heart can eclipse each other. When the mind has negative memories, events stored in it, trauma stored in it, it eclipses the heart chakra. The heart chakra is what allows us to expand, to grow, to extend grace and warmth, compassion, empathy, and love to humanity. And so there are masculines that are struggling with a big, stony heart. Painful. Their back is actually turned to their heart. They're not tuned into their feelings. They're not tuned into their emotions. They're not wearing their heart on their sleeve. The heart isn't even in the chest. It's right there, planted in the ground, and they've turned their back on it. But what they failed to see is even in the midst of that, there's still growth taking place. That iciness that's thawing out is watering, which emotions, water, is coming down into the ground, and what's happened is abundance and love are growing around the heart, around the outside. So what I feel like Spirit is leading me to encourage both men and women, regardless of your gender, within your masculine energy, if you have been someone who has isolated emotions to just being a heart thing and you've kind of swiped it away, put it behind you, maybe you've put more faith in what you read and what you learn versus what you feel experientially and allow yourself to feel. It seems like there's a tsunami of just ice melting, coming down that's happening for a lot of masculines that have been very toxic, maybe have been hurt, have been abandoned, rejected, angry. They've been passed over for promotions. They've been bullied. They've been abused. There have been a lot of hate guided and directed towards them. So they've kind of had put everything on ice and moved the heart outside and away and had all these different experiences. But as you can see, there is a pathway that's trying to lead them back to themselves, to get the heart put back in the right place, so that instead of being conscious of everything that they've lacked and lost, they can recognize everything that they contain and love and are able to expand. And so in your consciousness right now, we're just going to take a moment and clear this toxic energy from the masculine, the toxic masculine energy. And we're just going to take a moment to balance this and allow these tones to help heal. So if you have been struggling with toxic masculine energy, where there's anger, there's frustration, there's hostility, there's always a feeling of doubt of other people, doubt of their intentions, feeling like someone's always ready to stick a knife in your back, mistrustfulness. Just go ahead and open up your hands, your palms where the heart chakra is, and we can start there and allow this tone to help clear that out. Just take some nice deep breaths. I can actually feel the vibration from this in my palms. If you've had to defend yourself, if you've had to step out of love because you felt vulnerable and you were abused, your trust and love were abused, and you felt that you had to fight your way out of situations, that your voice wasn't heard, that you were not respected as a man, that your masculinity was constantly in challenge, if you were mocked by your peers, scrutinized, all of that gives birth to the toxic masculine energy that wants to destroy and take and harm. So we just call upon Archangel Raphael for healing and ask that the resonance of these tones clear out any residual toxic masculine energy that has been hindering us in our journey. We are calling forth for a consciousness of abundance to replace the consciousness of lack. I can feel that there is masculine energy, that this tone is penetrating the inner ears. There's masculines that are not used to hearing that they are good people. They're used to being told how shitty they are, how inadequate they are, how they're always subpar in whatever they're doing, being dogged out. Those are not true statements about you. Your true nature is divine. Your true nature is divine. Replace that untruth with the soul truth that you are enough. Okay. Wow, that was powerful. I could definitely feel that. That was deep. So whoever will be listening to this in the live or the playback, I hope that that will minister to you. You know, these have become healing sessions to bring light and love and encouragement and to address some of these very painful issues that many people suffer in silence from. And so as they're exposed to us, we try to address them as lovingly and tender as we can. All right. The next deck we have is the Sacred Traveler by Denise Lynn. And the card is Vast Vistas, and it is Expand Your Horizons.
See the world around you in new ways. This is not a time to think small. It's an exciting time for you. You may find travel or new adventures in your future. Think outside the box. Ideas and projects that you've been contemplating are now moving toward manifestation. Unconventional relationships may flourish. Take time to nurture your dreams, for big changes are ahead. As the traveler steps out of the woods, the pathway winds up to a high point with a vast vista. The traveler can see in all directions and knows that all things are possible. New and wondrous paths are ahead. The traveler can choose any direction to journey. Get ready for a joyous, expansive sojourn. Take deep and full breaths. Each breath affirms that you're in an expansive phase of life.
As Ralph Smart says, breathing in that good-ass prana, baby. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Recognize that you have possibilities. See, we had to clear out the toxic masculine energy because it was preventing a lot of us from changing our realities. Many people feel disempowered right now. They're overwhelmed by what is happening, circumstances. But what just came through to me as I'm looking at both of these cards, because I feel like there's a story to be told here together. So, oh my goodness, and there's the boat. All right. So, vast vistas. Right here, you are contemplating about starting something, making a change. Some of us were like, well, heck, how am I going to get there? What am I going to do? We like to have everything laid out in a neat little roadmap for us to make it super simple for us to step out on faith. But that's not always how things work. We don't always get all the details told to us and broken down by, like a paint by number, like this little box. Life isn't always going to be like this neat little box. But if you get yourself ready and prepare yourself, be ready all the time. All seasons, be ready anytime to make a move towards what your heart truly desires. The path will illuminate itself. And what happens here is as you are envisioning and allowing your imagination to flourish in abundance, not lack, but abundance, while you're sitting there envisioning it, your ride has arrived. Here's the path to get there. Just right there, fresh out of the box, right in front of you. Now, yeah, you're going to have to make your way down the hill a little bit. It might be kind of steep. You may get a little wet trying to get into the water, but you'll get there if you take the time and energy to do so. So you have to start, and you have to trust that, like King Trident's saying, your birthright is abundance. I know I crack up. I said, we sound like we was in church, Brother Matt. We was churching some people about abundance being your birthright last summer, because we are present, conscious, able, and we are worthy. And for some reason, many of us have been taught that we weren't. So we've been channels like Guided by Angels with Liz, King Trident's Tribe with Matt, Alluring Vibes with Brittany Henry. Oh my gosh. I mean, Powerful Transformation with Melanie. I mean, we're like busting the myths. We're trying to say, hey, wake up, wake up, wake up. Or you who are woke, holla. You are worthy of happiness, joy, and abundance. It's your birthright, but you got to make the boss moves. And don't miss your boat. And you won't miss your boat because, Mark, what do we say? What is for you will
never pass you by.
That is the gospel truth. So get yourself up, make your way to your boat, and get ready to get some wind in those sails, because you are about to become the sacred traveler in your life. So if you've been someone who's kind of been just floating along life, it's time to get into the driver's seat of your life. It's time to let the illumination of abundance and truth, wisdom, there's the owl right there, guide you and lead you to new adventures and new places. And including this castle is representing a new state of mind for you. A new, yes, I can, and yes, I will. And if I desire it, I can achieve it mindset. Never again go back to indecision and doubt and lack and poverty. Stay in the vibration of setting sail with calm emotions, with wisdom. But, the big thing right here, even though it looks like you're sailing by night and that's the moon, There's no illusions here. This is the light of the sun coming up, letting you know it's a dawn of a new day. If you are not traveling with truth in your life, your boat won't move. So I got to say it because I can feel that boop, boop, boop in my heart to tell you, if you are walking around deceiving yourself or others, your boat's going to stall. Light and love and truth combined together are so powerful. You will stall out here and not move forward if you do not resonate with those three powerful virtues and energies. And as a matter of fact, Mark, what happens to a boat when you have people moving about and thrashing about? What will happen to the boat?
It capsizes.
And to capsize means it's going to do what?
Flip and sink.
Flip and sink. So in order to prevent yourself from being capsized, take this time of self-reflection and self-awareness to scan yourself for any areas that are cloaked with deceitfulness, dishonesty, where you're not being true to yourself or true to others. When you clean and clear those up, the moonlight of delusion and illusion moves away, and the sun is illuminated and lights your way and gets you through those cold, dark times and leads you directly to the light. That was powerful. Wowie zowie, guys. I love it. All right. Oh, I love this deck. This is the Universe Has Your Back. Oh, yes, it does. Oh, my goodness. Love this. I love it when a good plan comes together. All right. The card that came out, when I focus on my inner light, I see the world through the lens of love. How awesome to have a lens of love. I mean, good gravy. A lens of love really changes your perspective on things, does it not?
Absolutely.
You know, and it's tricky because the world tosses the word love around so haphazardly. It's kind of overused and you know, people confuse infatuation with love. They get affection confused with love, right? And so we're talking about universal love. We're talking about the love of humanity, mankind, womankind. We're talking about the animals, the oceans. We're talking about the Burt Bacharach song, What the World Needs Now is Love, Sweet Love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. It's that universal love that's deeper and wider than anything we could ever envision or imagine. But if we open up our hands, open up our hearts so that it expands, we can feel it. We can feel it. We can experience nature in a different way. Have you ever been on a walk where the scenery around you just really ministered to you? Like the sunrise that came up was brilliant. The moonlight and the stars were just incredible. Have you ever had that experience, Mark?
Absolutely.
I mean, Mark's been all around the world. I have not been outside of our country, so I don't have those experiences, but I can tell you there have been a time when I've woke up and I was at a beach and I was able to be right there when the sun was rising. I've been at a beach when the sun is setting. You know, I've been in the mountains when a storm had just lifted and it was like watching the heavens open. You know, being by a body of water, by a lake, and just seeing the snow-capped mountains. It's just majestic, and there's just nothing like it. That it feels so powerful and empowering to know that we're a part of this wonderful, beautiful world, that we can touch the leaves, we can feel every blade of grass under our feet. We can breathe in the air around us. Have you ever been out on a morning walk and it's cold, but you can breathe in the air and it just feels so invigorating? Like it feels good to be alive. Like that's amazing. You know, we need to be more conscious and aware that there's more to our lens than worry, doubt, negativity, concerns, that we can turn our lens to a lens of love. Kind of like changing out a subscription. If you've been subscribed to the I'm Broke, Busted, and Disgusted network, I would cancel that shit if I were you, because it's not going to help you. Tune in to the lens of love that allows you to first accept yourself and then be able to accept others. Shout out to my sister Devora, who was sharing that truth to me all throughout the summer about acceptance of others and not just tolerance, like, okay, I'll just be fine because, you know, I'm just going to try to deal with these people. No, there's no these people. We are one. We are the world. And so learn how to accept others' differences, accept yourself and your differences, and see the world in a most exciting way, as if every day the sunrise is more incredible than the day before, and your life, I think, will feel fuller and more fulfilling because you're looking forward to each new day through the eyes of love.
I think a lot of times our lenses are affected by other people. What exactly do I mean by that? So I think a lot of times what happens is we don't want to have those feelings of rejection, a feeling like people are going to make fun of us.
Right.
Those kinds of negative feelings creep in. So we kind of adjust our lens so that we don't feel vulnerable out in public. Here's the thing. So if you express love or something else to your fellow man and that other person doesn't accept it, that's on them. That is not on you. It is important that your heart's in the right place. And I feel like once it is, then those positive vibrations, those high vibrations, and good things will definitely come to you. But it definitely, if you are rejected or if your kindness is not met with kindness, that is not on you. You should not feel like that. You know, I think the universe knows you, knows your heart, and you'll definitely get credit and see those positive things come your way if you just keep true to yourself and keep those lenses sharp and put good things out into the universe.
I agree 100%. And I believe that part of the reason that we as light workers were sent to this earth is to help Mother Gaia. The earth has been going through so much abuse. I mean, when our rainforests are being destroyed, when our animals are being destroyed, when our rivers and streams and oceans are polluted, and our children have just concrete. There's no more green grass and hills for them to play in and connect with the earth. It's just such a very sad time. And so I believe we were sent to this earth for such a time as this. We are all in different geographic coordinates, but yet we are all points of light. I love that George Bush would always talk about the points of light, and I was like, huh? And then it dawned on me, we're the points of light. We are the points of light. We're the conduits that are connected on the earth, and we have access and connection to the heavenly realms and to the beings, the angels, the ascended masters. We have access, but it takes the effort for us to wake up and to you know, when you first wake up out of bed, you got to get rolling, get moving, and allow the flow of energy and breath to flow through us so that we can get the job done. not just the job that we do in our earthly bodies, but the jobs we were called to do here as spiritual beings on the earth, having a human experience. This journey into the human spirit should be inspiring you to do better every day. You might have had the worst day on the planet, but I guarantee you somebody has had an even worse day. But we don't want to dwell on that. We want to think about how to get to tomorrow, how to make the world a better place, even if for one brief moment. It might be smiling at a stranger on the street. And I know people go, girl, you know we're wearing masks right now. You know, we know how to smile with more than our mouths, our eyes, our body language. We can show people compassion with their eyes. I had an experience last week where I was in a hospital and there was a nurse and our eyes met and she immediately knew, I'm going to help you. And I felt her compassion. I felt her sincerity, and it comforted me for that one brief moment. So never underestimate your power to comfort or help others on their journey. It just means tuning into the lens of love. And that is the Gaia frequency, the earth frequency that says we're here to support one another. And before I forget, that is the divine feminine energy that tunes out the toxic feminine energy, is the lens of love. It's the lens that says you are imperfectly perfect. I accept you. I will help you. I will give you grace when you fall, and I will compassionately help you up so that you can get on your way and do better to do it for another day. All right. Whew, love that Mother Gaia energy, let me tell you. Oh boy, okay. Seriously, y'all. Seriously, oh my goodness. So this deck, whew, the yogic path, powerful. And here we go, yes, again, with another powerful testimony of focus, inner work, and preparation. All right, Mark, here we go.
You came to this world to speak and express, and you are doing so beautifully. Now is the time to let your unique vibration shine. Speak your truth, write your message, sing your soul's language, express your innate art. This is a wonderful time to begin any communication-related project, such as a book, podcast, or business, or to take your existing project to the next level. The throat chakra reminds us to speak our truth, so continue to share what's on your mind with your closest relationships. Remember that it is just as essential to listen as it is to speak, and great communication skill comes in mastering both. Listen to those around you to deepen relationships, and listen to those who inspire you to deepen wisdom. Know that most communication is not in the words spoken, but rather in their expression. This is the time for you to craft your own.
Wow. Now, once again, in this picture, we have the butterfly. Again, the first cards we had coming out about change, transformation. We just talked about you cannot fully embrace that change if you're walking around with a vibration of dishonesty in any capacity. Free yourself. Free yourself from that cocoon. We had a card where the person was encapsulated in a stone, but there was energy moving around trying to break out of that rut, that old safe place. This is now the transformation. This is the metamorphosis. This is the revolution that's taking place inside, and there are wings developing. There is a flight pattern being given to you to show you that you have options, that you are worthy, that abundance is at your fingertips. You create your reality. And now, this section, we went from the third eye chakra, we talked about the heart chakra, we talked about the solar plexus chakra, and boom, here we are at the throat chakra. It is time to speak your piece. Things that need to be said, say them. Say them so that you can be free. Free your mind and the rest will follow. Open up. Allow those things to come out. Not everything that's going to come out of your mouth is going to be negative and hurtful, although in order to get free, sometimes you might have to say some things that hurt. That saying, the truth hurts. I believe the truth hurts only when you've got your fingers plugged in your ears to not hear it. If you can allow yourself to receive the truth with the intention of betterment, you will grow from what you go through. Grow through what you go through. So I encourage you, again, and I feel like this is pointing back to the masculine energy inside of us. This is a challenge for a lot of people. To be in positive masculine energy requires balance and skill, and it requires that feminine divine energy combined with the masculine divine energy in order to achieve this type of behavior. When you have either the masculine or feminine out of order, they're either competing like a seesaw with each other or duking it out like they're brawling in the middle of the street. There's going to be a lot of static and drama. There's going to be a lot of anger and hostility. And when those energies are at play, it is low, dense, negative vibrations. And it's also highly toxic and drains and pulls the air and the life force, the energy out of the persons involved. So again, this must have been a call tonight to work specifically with the masculine energy that is divine, that is transforming, and that is able. What's so beautiful that I'm seeing is what I see in this is the masculine that has been overcoming toxicity is receiving a crown, is receiving harmony, peace, tranquility as a reward for telling the truth, for protecting their heart from toxic connections, from using their energy in a way that is hurtful to others. That mantra, do no harm, take no shit. The divine masculine understands he is called to the earth for a specific purpose and reason, that he recognizes his humanity and his divinity, and he's working to be the conduit that he's supposed to be, where animals and children and feminines can be safe in this person's presence with their energy. Feminines who have had a rocky road with their own masculine energy are coming into this metamorphosis through the journey of change and transformation and enlightenment of the mind. And so this peace, these emotions, I see this as a person standing upright with the sky, but also laying in a bed of water. Water representing the emotions, almost like a baptism of being in the water and being tranquil and being transformed through the changing of their emotions, the negative, the angry, the pessimistic, the hostile, the adverse, the doubtful, the shameful, all of those negative power energies associated with toxic masculinity are being cleansed and washed away. And so when this takes place, a leadership energy emerges, a balanced masculine that is crowned with truth and love and light. And it is absolutely stunning. I'm just amazed that we're able to see this transformation through the cards of the masculine energy, which is needed, because without this energy, we have masculine and feminine, and we had chi and prana. Without these two key components filling their roles, Mother Gaia is going to continue to languish and begin to fail. We're seeing things like geopathic stress, like there was some place that you had showed on the internet, Mark, that I don't remember where it was, but the weather was changing so drastically that the heat signature, where it should have been cold, it was hot. Siberia looked like it was on fire based on what we were seeing. I believe and hope that that information that was being presented was from a credible source, but that would be absolutely absurd. You know, that would be like going to Antarctica and it being 95 degrees out. That would be insane. And so what we are called to do is bring the energy to help the earth sustain her vibration so that the earth can continue to flourish and grow. And so masculines are being called to this right now so that they can assist the earth with their part, their leadership, their ability to understand feminines without bashing them or being angry with them for showing weakness or emotion or sadness. It is the divine masculine emerging from his cocoon, from the being entombed and enshrouded with all of these worldly pressures. He's coming out and he's ready to serve humanity in a way that's bigger and bolder than ever before.
If you really think about it, this is an important card to understand. Right now out in the world, there is a shortage of truth out there.
Yes, there is.
And whether you're in your workplace, whether you're at home, wherever you may be out in public, the fact of the matter is, you speaking the truth to somebody may not be the most popular thing in the world, but they're going to recognize the truth in your heart. That's and you're going to be a lighthouse and a beacon to those that are seeking the truth.
Yes.
At the time that you speak truth, it may be unpopular, it may be upsetting to people. The way this manifests for me is when I'm usually at work or when I am somewhere and I speak the truth, eventually what will happen is somebody will overhear what I'm saying and they'll come back to me. It could be hours later, almost always it's days later, and they say, you know what, I appreciated you saying that. I get comments a lot of times when I meet people, they say, there is something about you that's different. And when you cleanse yourself and your soul of that toxic masculine energy, of those feelings of doubt, anxiousness, and those other feelings, that sadness that can really bog your soul down, people see you as a lighthouse and they're attracted to you. But people may not necessarily know what they're looking at, but they'll know that it's something positive and good and in their best interest as well.
That's right. And, you know, I'm grateful that we have two very powerful divine masculines here tonight, with Matt with King Trident's Tribe and with Mark, because both of you have backgrounds of being in the armed forces. You both have experience in dealing with very difficult things. And so you guys have witnessed firsthand how the world can put pressure on you and a crushing weight. Just things that you had to go through to train, to go on missions, things that you've seen. There's a lot of pressure on the masculine in this world to perform, to succeed, and to lead. And I feel for you because I recognize that as a feminine that is working daily to stay in alignment with divine feminine energy, you know, to support and to send high vibes and encouragement to you throughout your day means recognizing that you are out in a battlefield, even if you aren't in fatigues out there. You are experiencing your peers that often may come at you abruptly, supervisors that may cut you down in front of your peers or in front of other people. It's very disheartening to see how our brothers, our fellow masculines, are being treated in the world. Let's add to that another component. You add masculines that have a very strong faith, masculines of different ethnicities, masculines that have acknowledged their connection to the spiritual realm publicly. There's a certain level of pressure that's even put there. And so for all the masculines who are listening to this playback or in the live and we didn't see you, thank you for your light work that you're putting in to help raise the vibration for our fellow brothers in the world that need that right now. You know, I firmly believe that every life matters. And right now, humanity is in a fight for its life. I am sending high vibrations to every feminine because it's imperative that we get our masculine energy in alignment with light and love and truth so that we can operate in a place of leadership when it's called for, but also able to work in synergy, in conjunction, in coherence with our male counterparts out in the world. And so this is our charge right now. This is our mission, is to get into alignment. And I'm going to tell you, one of the most important ways we can do that is through self-awareness, boundaries, and truth. Those three things are so powerful. That allows us to enter into self-respect and to reside there. And so we'll be able to determine if we're being taken advantage on. We'll be able to discern if someone is being dishonest or their intentions are not true. We will be able to recognize what is taking place around us and effectively in real time make better decisions. We're always one decision away from a completely different life. So take this time to focus on balancing your energies and equipping yourself so that you can know better and do better. I love it. Love it. This deck I always feel drawn to now because we are all leaning in for soulful truth. What is it that we are asking that we have not yet received the answer to, that we'd like to know more about here? Oh boy, this card. There's another card that was just popping out, and I thought, I don't know. See if it comes up again. Hope you guys are having a good evening. I hope that the messages have been resonating. We're just about to conclude the messages for tonight, but we're so thankful that we could be here together to support one another and to raise the vibrations in the collective. Okay, so I'll put this one back. Put it back in here and keep shuffling. Every day I'm shuffling. Thank you for these messages. Wow. We cannot make this stuff up, y'all. Whew. Okay. What is the most limiting belief keeping me from what I want right now? Wow. All right, hold on a second here. I'm going to go ahead and open up the tones. Oh my goodness, and it was on the third eye, opening the third eye. So the third eye, with our mind's eye, is what often eclipses our heart and positive thoughts. So take a moment right now and let these tones clear out any clutter in your mind so that you can get a clear answer as to what is the most limiting belief that's keeping you from what you want right now. Take some deep breaths, open your palms, stretch, roll out your shoulders. All right. What story are you telling yourself when you think about your dreams? What is the first limiting thought that comes to mind? If you're not living the life you desire, it is because a part of you doesn't believe it's possible. What do you think about that, Mark?
I think tonight that we've talked a lot about limits, limiting ourselves. And I think it's very easy to get into. There's so much negativity out in the world right now. It's very difficult for people to stay high vibrational, high, positive, keeping joy, keeping peace and light in their heart. I think it's absolutely amazing, these cards. It seems like every time we do this, there are themes that come out.
Yes.
And I think what we really need to learn here is we're holding ourselves back. There's nobody holding us back. We do it to ourselves. We build walls.
Yes.
We build mental blocks. We do all kinds of crazy things, and we kind of get into this little comfortable little zone. But you know what? Time to break out now. We can all do it in our own way. It's not all going to look the same. But you know what? When we do get into that positive spirit, the power of positivity,
yes,
and when we start writing things down and manifesting things into reality, it's going to be powerful, and it's going to affect change in this world. Positive change that everybody's looking for.
That's right. I feel like those old paradigms must be shifted. And tonight the message was, light family, light workers, we're here together tonight. We've brought our energy, our light, our love, our encouragement to the collective. And as a unit, I believe that there is going to be powerful changes taking place in the seat of power in most of our lives. We're all on the precipice of a great journey right before us, but we have to take those steps. We have to trust that the journey is something that is for our greatest and highest good. And like Mark said, not everyone's journey is going to look the same. Some of us are going to take 2 steps forward and 10 steps back, and some of us are going to advance to go on the first step. Regardless of how you get there, just get there and just trust the process. Today's soul action says it's time to upgrade. Look your belief in the eye, and where did it come from? What new belief are you ready to adopt in its place? How will this change your results? Remember, your belief is the root of your result. Own it, heal it, upgrade it. It's time to level up. A lot of us had been living in mediocrity. We were content with just getting by. We were content to be in toxic attachments rather than healthy connections. We were comfortable with pretty little lies instead of difficult truths. We were comfortable with blinders and earplugs, allowing us to kind of fumbly-bumbly muster our way through the challenges of life, in our own little bubble wrap, But we're being called to move forward now. It's a powerful time. Don't allow what you're seeing in the 3D to despair or dismay you or discourage you. Take the chance to move and propel yourself to the next level. Upgrade. Upgrade. Many of us are going through upgrades in some capacity or another. Some people, it's more obvious than others, but you are advancing. The message is you are growing, you're advancing, you're coming into your own, your most authentic version of yourself. That's the greatest version of yourself. I know some people might get it twisted and have this vision in their mind like they're going to go from looking like Pee Wee Herman to Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm not talking about the physical body, while that is a component. I'm talking about your most authentic version of yourself. That's the soul truth. When you're no longer trying to be someone for anyone else other than you and accepting you. So throw out those limiting beliefs and get ready to start attracting in what you truly, truly desire.
Change is afoot. Change is inevitable. Don't let mental blocks and negativity be the reason that you get left behind.
That's right. That is right. And here we have this beautiful deck, the Super Attractor. We talked earlier about setting intentions, manifesting, creating, aligning. We talked about energy. Now this card is just tying it all together. Manifesting is the creative process of aligning with the energy of the universe to co-create an experience that elevates my spirit and the spirit of the world. That is absolutely incredible. Just going to go ahead and turn on the chimes, the singing bowls here. Right now, if you have been with us through this message journey, this healing tonight, I just want to encourage you to really take to heart what you've heard. Let it marinate with you. Take the baby steps if you have to. Breathe deeply. Regenerate, recharge, do whatever you must to get to this place right here. Your thoughts are a powerful super attractor. Where your energy goes and imagination goes, the energy is going to flow. So in order to manifest that which you desire that is good for you and authentic, you must recognize the process and what manifesting truly is when you are in your authentic vibration of energy. It's aligning with the energy of the universe. So if you're ready to align with the energy of the universe, just take a couple of deep breaths and open up your hands, open up your palms so that the heart chakras are open to receive from the universe. And say this with me. I am ready to receive alignment with the universe. I am ready for my energy to be in alignment with the divine so that I can co-create an expansive, healthy, powerful, creative experience in my life that opens the doors to new opportunities, new experiences, new people that I may serve out of universal love instead of compulsion and ego. I am ready to start with self-love and devotion. I am ready to be honest with myself and honest with others. I will speak truth even if my voice shakes a little. I will fill myself with light and love and grace and acceptance and allow for my masculine and feminine energies to interlock like the yin-yang in perfect, balanced harmony. I will practice good boundaries. I will focus my time and attention on my health, wellness, emotions, and good, healthy relationships. I'm envisioning a door. I see that there are people making their way to walk through the door, and you're able to do it now fearlessly. And I'm so proud of you. I'm so excited for you, and I look forward to knowing, if I'm permitted to know what you're about to go and do. I just want to cheer you on. Even if I don't get to know that, I'm cheering you on, and I'm telling you, you've got this. You can do it. You're powerful, you're smart, you're strong, and you are able, and you can do this. Don't be afraid. Take the next step so that you can move into a more authentic place in your life where you belong. Your home. That's what came through. You're coming home to yourself finally. Welcome home. Welcome to the real you. Welcome to the authentic you, the you that you were destined and designed to be before experiences, hardships, and traumas took place in your life. Welcome home. Make yourself comfortable. Be comfortable with yourself. Take off your shoes. Find the comfy spot to sit in and just settle in for a minute and be thankful that you made it. That's what this message was about tonight. It's about getting home. Getting home, getting past the roadblocks and stumbling blocks of toxic masculine and feminine energy. You got over those places. You've traveled, you're arriving, you've gotten to the door, and now you've stepped in your home. Get comfortable in that new place of you. And think about what you want in your new home, your new and improved home, your authentic home. Will you allow people to come in with muddy shoes? Will you leave all the doors and windows open, day or night? Will you leave keys under doormats for people? Will you give keys to people who don't belong there? Will you save a parking spot for old places and people who don't belong there? Of course you won't. Will you leave all the lights on day and night? Will you blare loud music? You won't. You're going to make yourself at home. It's going to feel like you live there. And once you're comfortable, and once you've had your fill of solitude and harmony and peace and tranquility, then you will vet out those that you're ready to allow to come in. This is a call to be aware of not only yourself, but those boundaries to those who are outside of you. When people show you who they are, believe them. Your house is clean, your house is fresh, your house is new. Keep it safe and dream until all your dreams come true. Loved ones, it has been an honor and a privilege to be with you on this evening. Sending you so much love and light. Mark, would you like to close us out?
Sure. I'd just like to end the session by saying thank you for everybody who tuned in, and I hope that you have received some encouragement and you can go forth out into the world and do great things. We love you guys. Thank you and have a wonderful evening.
Many, many blessings, and until next time, stay safe, stay encouraged. Ciao for now.